Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Here's Carmen, and I'd like to introduce an article named Who Wrote This? Essay Mules and Assessment, Considerations Regarding Contract Cheating and AI in Higher Education, written by Simon Sweeney. Academic dishonesty, as defined by the scholars in 2017, is an deceitful or unfair act intended to produce a more desirable outcome on an exam, paper, homework assignment, or other assessment of learning. In fact, many of us may have already witnessed or encountered academic dishonesty around us. Copying answers from others, bringing cheat sheets into a closed book exam. We may have seen them since secondary school. Stepping into higher education, academic dishonesty becomes something more serious and complicated. This article is going to share essay muling, a classic and quite common form of academic misconduct in higher education, the impacts of AI on this trend, reasons for the misconduct, and possible consequences. Finally complete by some suggestions that may help the academic institutions to counter academic dishonesty. Essay muling, aka contract cheating or ghostwriting, in simple explanation, is an act that students purchase and hand in essays or other unsupervised assignments from third parties while claiming full authorship of them. Basically, it's students paying for a service by others to finish their own assessments. You can trade with other students who are confident and eager to earn income, or so-called professional writers on forums, social media, or even some online trading platforms. In the case of the university's Whitney work in UK, such service had been promoted through even posters in the name of editing and proofreading assistance or language support. The products are usually of high quality with compliance with assessment guidelines. The tutors use various ways to deal with the issue. Other than plagiarism detection software, suspicious cases like references unrelated to the course, references in the reading list but associated with definitely unrelated content, and chronological inconsistencies may be red flags to the tutors. But to tutors, it has been more and more challenging to catch such kind of academic dishonesty. As we know, students have been influenced deeply starting from the application of AI technology, generative AI, chatbots typically. Back to 2023, the year of publication of this article, OpenAI had already invented GPT-3 and the well-known ChatGPT. Some may ask, okay, it was a big change, but is this really matter to academic dishonesty? And the answer from Sweeney is a big yes. Chatbots figure out their text and answers through very quick access and analysis on an enormous database, basically the whole internet. Searching from online encyclopedia, websites, documents, ebooks, and all the other sources available online, with its capability of producing grammatically accurate contents, it seems to be very attractive to certain students who think it's worth taking a try. I mean, anti-plagiarism software can't work anymore because chatbots don't copy and paste but generate new contents from the old ones, don't they? Well, like many of us already know, the platforms we're currently using to submit assessments required by higher education institutions, like Turnitin, figured out some sort of mechanism to detect and highlight tests generated by chatbots. Still, we want to ask a question. Why? What motivates students to trigger a red flag for academic integrity? And how academic dishonesty may affect these students. One of the possible catalysts to boost essay muling from the tutor is the COVID-19 pandemic. The unprecedented consequences of it, such as lockdown and social distancing policies, inevitably gave rise to the feeling of isolation of the students. The adverse external environment they stayed in and felt, with the pressure from challenging academic assessments, may force them to turn to essay muling. The second reason proposed is the higher education system, postgraduate education this time. The author points out that the increase in student number and the recruitment of less well-prepared students directly increase the demand on essay muling. Sweeney raised example of international students from non-English speaking countries and regions worrying about their level of language competency to understand the university's expectations on academic integrity and assessment, or what plagiarism is. These groups of students may be motivated to use assimiling to secure their university degrees. The third possibility is related to finance. It's said that many students face the dilemma of earning money or studying. Many students, whether they are local or overseas, face financial difficulties ranging from rental to tuition fee that force them to look for chances to earn a living. Often, they can only find low-paid part-time employment that lacks competitive applicants. But when they spend many hours on the shifts, they can barely meet the time limit for assessment submission. The time clash and pressure can push students to the fast assimiling. Instantly, students need to bear the risk of being caught out and accused of academic misconduct. Even with AI, the source of information can be completely unreliable that gives out text containing wrong information. When it is caught, serious punishment can be issued by academic institution. That's not the end. Assessments are meant to assess students' understanding of the courses and train students' essential skills. Assimiling hinders not only tutors, but students from achieving the goals. The undermining of students' professional expertise can adversely affect graduate recruitment and performance in employment. What's even more important, long-term prevalence of assimiling and other forms of academic dishonesty may mislead students to normalize them as common practices, blurring the line of academic integrity. It should be noticed that as assimiling service is mostly conducted online, students are also more vulnerable to cybercrime like blackmailing. Currently, few jurisdictions have laws and regulations targeting on it, while the SMUs can be based any part of the world. It is even more difficult to seek for legal sanction once arguments occur. First, Sweeney suggests that more support to the assessment from academic institutions can be provided, such as generic guidelines on answering the question set, a feedback template model, etc., to ensure that every student receives the similar support. Secondly, the issue of very weak postgraduate students who lack adequate language and academic skills can only be effectively addressed by universities tightening student recruitment policies to ensure that their students can attend the courses. The author advises universities to consider strengthening supervision and monitoring on the assessments to urge some students to shift their focus from part-time work back to academic work. Training of students is also important. Students should be well trained to familiarize themselves with the guidelines and feedback of the assessments. They should be aware of academic dishonesty, including the types and potential consequences as well. Since the non-stop developing AI tools, it's time for course designers to evaluate the assessment process and explore diverse assessment forms, other than traditional exams and essays that involve pure text inputting. Storytelling, videos, role-playing, and other forms of assessments can be used to measure students' learning. Technology is a double-edged sword to our daily life. On one hand, AI facilitates us in terms of working efficiency. On the other hand, it becomes an attractive tool for academic misconduct. Tutors, academic institutions, and different related platforms are working hard to identify suspicious cases and give out penalties. But it's not enough. Schools should try their best to let students treasure the value of integrity. They should understand that honesty is an essential element of trust in academia. Therefore, let's choose trust over transaction. Let universities return from writing competition holders to centers for nurturing thinkers.